What is going on, y'all? James from Shimwrecker Enterprises back here live from my hotel room in Las Vegas, where I'm out here for the Open Championships. I'm recording this on Tuesday night, and I bowl the main event Thursday and Friday, but I'm actually bowling my first Bowler's Journal squad in about an hour's time or so. So that should be fun, kind of kicking off my week tonight. Wanted to give y'all just kind of a quick look at what I've got with me for this week. Have had some stuff click where I feel like I'm throwing it really, really well right now. And I'm just excited to kind of see where this goes. Lanes do seem pretty playable if you do the right thing, but if you don't, then they're not. So kind of typical Open Championships to a certain extent. They do seem slightly softer if you do play them correctly, but I think that could actually work to my benefit. So let's take a look at this and see what we got here. All right, so kind of really inventively laid out on my bed here is, this is almost kind of a chart of what I've got and kind of how I view sequencing to a certain extent. So left to right is essentially super early to super late, except for my plastic ball, which that's kind of its own separate thing. So high traction down to low traction, essentially, is kind of how you got to look at it. And then low is really low friction response, so very smooth. And as it gets higher, that's the faster response stuff that's going to be more responsive on friction. So as you can see here, I actually have 8. Shipped my plastic ball and my purple hammerhead to a friend of mine who lives out here. Thank you, Anthony. Really appreciate your help with that. So I shipped those 2 out, and then the other 6 balls back here are actually what I flew out with when I came out yesterday. So first ball, not a whole lot to say here. This is a Hopkinsville Purple Hammer. I think it's a 2019 pour. Pin above the bridge, nothing crazy. It's my favorite urethane ball I've ever owned. Then this is the earliest and smoothest of the resin balls that I've got with me. This is a pin in the middle finger, Crux Prime. Mass is down there just right at the thumb. This is the ball I actually shot 702 with in the team event last year for the Open Championships. So that spec is, as a cover stock, is known to read tougher patterns well. This ball is known to work in this building very well. And I kind of wanted something a little more rolly than my Pro Motion, and that's kind of where the Crux Prime comes into play. So that is that. Then moving on, the next ball, this is a 4.5-inch pin up on an Axiom. Again, not a whole lot to say here. It's an Axiom. Everybody knows what it does. This is just kind of a little stronger and smoother layout than some of the ones I've had in the past. Really, based on what I've seen so far, I don't think either of these are going to see a whole lot of use, especially in double singles. Looks like they open up pretty quick, so it's just going to be kind of use stable stuff that'll let me beat up the pocket a little more until they open up, and then get into the faster response equipment and really go to town at that point is my general philosophy. So speaking of which, these 3 right here, plus maybe the Alpha Crux, this is kind of where I'm expecting to throw most of the week, just based on what I've seen so far. So first off, this is one of my major workhorse balls. This is 55 by 4.5 by 70 on an Obsession Tour. Surface is at probably, what is that, 2,000, 3,000-ish with some lane shine on it. Again, nothing crazy surface-wise, but I really think that's going to do very, very well, especially on the fresh in the plaza especially for team event, but probably for double singles as well. Haven't watched any team event bowling yet, but if it's at all what I think it is, then it should play there. This is the gem back here in the back. This is an Alpha Crux. It only has about probably 60 games on it, if that. You can see it's pretty shiny. It's kind of sitting in the same role as how I used to run a shiny Reality, just a little bit more stable and round off the end of the pattern. If I cross with someone who's throwing urethane, I suspect it will come into play. If I am not, then I'm expecting that to stay in the bag for most of the weekend. I don't think I'm going to need that much traction plus shape at the same time. So then these 3 right here, the Obsession, the Zen, and the Hyped Pearl, I'm expecting these to be what I actually end up using for most of the weekend. This is 4.5-inch pin up, a little bit of a taller pin than the Axiom, but a similar type of idea. So 4.5-inch pin up on a Zen. Just drilled this one last week, so it's still got a really fresh cover, so it's going to be pretty responsive. But still a strong enough cover formula that stability down lane is not going to be a question. Been really liking it so far. Actually threw it a little bit practicing earlier today and was very happy with what it was doing. And then off of that, you can see it is pretty shiny. I think I touched it with a 3000 pad and I've got like 5 or 6 games on it since then. So nothing crazy there. Once this goes away, then my weak ball for the week, ironic there. This is 4.5-inch pin up as well. A little bit slower layout. Same pin as my Axiom, actually. On a hyped pearl. So this is one that kind of caught me off guard a little bit, but I've been really blown away with it at the same time. So the cover is VTC Pearl, which is essentially a slightly juiced up reactor. So it's a little bit weaker than like R2S, so like high road type stuff, but it also seems to be a little bit more stable and predictable in oil, which is good for a situation like this because I don't want a ball that's going to be super duper jumpy on friction. And the Hyped Pearl has definitely proven itself quite well in that regard. So when they get crispy later in the block, especially double singles, that's when this ball would come into play. And then finally, last but not least, hopefully I don't have to use this a ton, but it's an absolute necessity. This is the pink icy you've probably seen on my channel a little bit in the past. Like I said, I shipped a couple balls out here before I flew out just to get them out here and avoid baggage fees. And decided to take the pink ice with me just for kicks and giggles. So yeah, that's a spare ball. So unfortunately with the USBC's video policies, I can't really do a whole lot in terms of content creation while I'm out here. I'm not bowling the TAT this year, just the Bowler's Journal and the Open Championships. So if I am able to get a couple of clips, then I will. Otherwise, my main plan is I'll probably have a recap video up this weekend after I'm done bowling. And then once I'm going to pay for the like full-blown video recordings if I can of both team event and double singles. Assuming I'm able to get those, both of those will be posted publicly on YouTube on this channel at some point for you all to kind of enjoy. And I'll probably, when that happens, I'll probably also do some sort of kind of breakdown or director's cut, director's commentary type thing almost of kind of talking through what's actually happening and what I was seeing throughout the day. So anywho, that is all I have for now. Hope you all have enjoyed. If you have any questions, as always, leave them down in the comments. And until next time, good luck and good bowling. Peace.